And hello, it's here, it's happening right now, it's here, and hello, it's me, it is me, that D-O-double-G, and I can't believe that I'm a fool again. I thought this love would never end. How was I to know? How are you doing today, Lucas?
Yeah, I was good up until I just saw your tweet from an hour ago.
I can't even remember what I tweeted an hour. Did I tweet an hour ago?
About Arsenal looking for a certain. Anyway, we'll get into it. I'm good. I've just seen something which just completely thrown me off. Yeah, I'm very good though. I hope you are too.
Sensational. See, it wasn't the Westlife lyrics that put him off. It's an absurd.
No, not.
He loves a bit of Westlife. Westlife's like water off a duck's back.
That'd be a blessing compared to that.
and talking about water off a duck's back, Sam, how are you, Mr. Duck?
I'm fine. I'm offended by all your tweets, so I'm not bothered either way.
He also loves the Westlife. We all love the Westlife. Well, again, and do you know who else loves the Westlife? Is Shah in the chat, and I think I know what tweet she's referring to now. Stop the Mount hate. That's what it's all about. That is what it's about. We shall come on to that. But sadly, Charlotte isn't here because we work here so hard. I think we put so much on it that sometimes it's nice for her to actually have some time to herself because she's quite pleasant company. So she probably enjoys having that all to herself. But Charlotte, we miss you terribly. Thank you for being with us. And hello to everybody that is joining us. And what a fantastic weekend of football for someone. Not me. Certainly not really Sam. Not really Sam. And certainly not one man sitting down there. Mr. Lucas, wasn't a very nice weekend of football, was it really? Tell us about how did this weekend of football make you feel?
I don't really know what colour London is. London's not blue, it's not white, it's not red. It's just a complete shit show at the moment. It's just going round, isn't it? I don't know what to tell you. And that tweet that I saw was about Mason. Wait, let me just read this out. Let me read this out.
He's got to get it out of the way. You can see it's festering.
This is an absolute disgrace. This is not how I want to start my week. Arsenal want to add more creativity in an advanced position, which has fueled their pursuit of Mason Mount. And that's from David Ornstein. So let me get it straight. We want to add more creativity, so you hire the least creative player for Chelsea Football Club in Mason Mount.
Good with that.
For
reference, my response was, this tweet is just full of irony. I thought it was the most ironic tweet I've ever seen. Got creativity and Mason Mount.
I don't know what's gone on in the last 2 months, but it's just we've just gone back another 5 years. It's back to like prime, well, not prime, back to the end of Wenger days again. It's all that nonsense coming up. Ex-Chelsea players, top four is a trophy. Back to normal, right? Everything's reset. The universe is back on track. But yeah, no, it was a shit weekend of football.
It was a little bit. I got to be honest. I mean, I was following the games, and I mean, once I saw that Forest result, I mean, for those of you that are living under a rock and don't know, for some reason, I think Arsenal just decided, we're not fussed about the league. Who needs it? Who needs a Premier League? And lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest for reasons I don't quite get. What happened? What happened in the game?
Just mentality. It's just mentality. It comes back to it again. There's just something wrong with our club. Like, I honestly don't care. Second place, I can't. I'm not going to celebrate second place. I don't care what people say. Yes, if you take out all of the context and you just go, what happened this year? Arsenal finished second. Last year they finished fifth. They finished second this year. Take out all the context. That's a good season. That's progression. Now you add in the context in that. How are we supposed to celebrate the end of the season and what should be a very good season because of the fact that we have finished second, in the way that we've just thrown it away at the end? Like we've won 2 in like 8 games. Like from a team that was leading the title, it's absolutely it's astounding how bad this has been. But I mean, am I surprised? Like we did the same thing last year, but for top 4, and we've done it again this year. So there's something very questionable in mentality. I'm sorry, I'm not having this whole thing that they're young players. They are young players, but you have mentality from a very young age as well. It's not an excuse. Look, how old's Erling Haaland? 22.
Yeah.
How old's
about that.
21. You know, these are players with the mentality to do it on the big stage and not cower. And some of the players that we've got, albeit they've had a very, you know, on the whole, they've had a very good season. But when it really matters again, when it comes down to when you need to win to actually cement your position at the top of the table and win the title, because it was in our hands. And let's not pretend like we threw it away against Liverpool and, well, maybe Liverpool, you can include it, but Liverpool were 8th and awful at that time when we played them, against teams in the top 6 like Newcastle, United, Spurs. We didn't throw away against them. We threw it away against West Ham, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, and Brighton. Like, there's no excuse for it. It's pathetic. It's a pathetic way to end the season, and it sours. That's what it does. It sours what should be a celebratory season, for me at least. And I know a lot of fans feel that way as well. There's a lot of nonsense going on as well with like some of the stuff I've seen fans say, but a lot of fans do feel quite bittersweet about the end of the season, just in terms of the way that we've gone out. And Forest, it's not surprising. I knew we would lose that game. And when we actually looked at the fixtures, I looked at that game next to Newcastle away, and I was like, those are the 2 hardest ones outside of Man City, because Forest are probably going to need points for relegation. And look what happens. They need points to survive, and they go and absolutely destroy us. We have all the ball in that game and do nothing with it. So yeah, it's a complete capitulation twice in a row now. So I think mentality is just, we haven't got killers. That's what the thing is. Liverpool have got killers. Man United even have killers. Man City have got killers. Chelsea have got killers. We haven't got any we haven't got players in that team. You look for our Arsenal team. You guys are looking from the outside, and you say, pick out 2 players in that Arsenal team who you would say have the mentality where they will win at no matter what the cost. In any game, they're like, you know what? They're just going to go around and just say, you know what? We're winning this game. And I don't care what it takes. I will do whatever it takes to win this game. Can you pick out 2 players in that Arsenal side who you say have got that mentality?
Can you find one, Sam? If you find one, I'll find another one.
It's tough when the chips are down, like you say, first half of the season, but not when the pressure. Yeah, when you said when the pressure is on, who's the guy that's going to drag you out of it? I don't know who I trust in that line. I think Martinelli's been all right.
Martinelli,
been on the cusp,
Saliba, I'd say, have got the have the mentality, because Martinelli's the only one who looked like he gave a shit during this meltdown, and Saliba, I'd say, there's a player in there. But outside of that,
they got missing.
I think Charlotte's taunting you. I mean, for audio listeners, Charlotte in the chat. That's why
he'll fit right in with that mentality for sure. But yeah, I mean, it comes down to we haven't. That it's a better season than it is last year, but the way we've thrown it away has been really bad. So there needs to be some serious work in the summer.
Because it's one of that you can understand. You can understand losing the title to Man City. Everybody can understand losing the title to Man City. It is the manner that it's happened, isn't it? It's
Why is it because every other fan base would say the same. If we lost it to Man City, let's say we lost the title by 3 points, and we had lost to Man City at home. No one's giving us any banter whatsoever. In fact, people are probably praising us, saying that's a fair play, Arsenal. That's a great season. Go again next year. But everyone's looking at us like, this is embarrassing. The way that you do it. I mean, they didn't have to kick a ball to win the league.
I know. That is what is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on here. Blue face smiley. I'm assuming this is some sort of emoji that shows up on YouTube. That's good. But it is sad. I mean, I think I've got to catch up with some bits in the chat here. Charlotte's giving me some abuse. Just bear in mind that we did beat Forest though. We beat Forest 3-2, I believe, later on in the year. So stop being mean. She just likes to hear me, even when she's not here. And Chris is saying that nobody remembers who finished second, apart from I remember when Liverpool finished second, because it hurts. It's burned into my soul like last season.
Your second was quite unique though. Was it 99 or 98?
Which one? Last year it was horrible. Was it last year?
It was the last
game.
It wasn't a high point total last year, though, was it? Of the last.
It was the last 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Last 20
we were
minutes,
top.
yeah.
We were winning the league until the last bit. Oh, mother.
In fact, Gerrard for that.
Been there.
Yeah. But I mean, this is one for you from Chris. Do you think they should stick with Arteta?
I think he's definitely bought himself some, like, more time. I think he deserves a summer. But I'm sorry, the signs are there, and you have to look at the signs when you can't just wait until you're losing. You have to look at the signs when you're winning. And some of those games are really shaky. Bournemouth, Aston Villa, those wins where when you look at it and an experienced manager looks at those and goes, well, hold on a moment, we've got out of here very, very closely. So I need to address this. But he didn't. He just played the same system with the same set of players over and over again, and players off form over and over again. There's definitely some red flags during Arteta's reign. Everyone can see it, but we can all agree that the guy, in terms of his coaching ability, he's coached the team very well. We've played some very good football this year, but as a squad manager, and as transfers and identifying, and also plan B, plan C, what are you going to do? Do you need to park the bus? He hasn't shown anything in those areas that has convinced me that this is the guy that's going to get us winning Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, But outside of that, I think he's got 1 more year. But I think the fans won't have it next year. You finish second this year and you throw away the end. The fans will not have it next year. If we get knocked out of the Champions League group and lying around 5th or 6th, patience will run out.
He's very Gareth Southgate for England. I think Arteta for me, in that he's got his favourites. He's got his core that he wants to play because he trusts them, because they're mates or something. And he's got a formation, but the deviation from that is very limited. And I think similar to Southgate with England, I think Arteta is sort of, you'll probably get you in the top 4 occasionally, but he hasn't got a lot of killer instinct. I don't think personally. Do you feel that?
I think it's quite emotion driven. Like, who is that said? I think it's Henry that said that you can't win the league with emotions. And obviously he got a load of shit for that. Not like, he's our greatest ever player and arguably the greatest ever Premier League player, but cool. He goes against the manager, so he must be wrong, right? But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of it in the documentary and things like that, but everyone has their own different styles of management. And if it works, no one questions it. If it doesn't work, people question it. And in this instance, it hasn't worked from the situation we were in. So Chris in the chat saying after the comeback and the win and the celebration against Bournemouth, it showed a fight, but since then it's just gone down the toilet, to be paraphrasing. The mentality. I mean, there's a lot of question marks. So I'm just like, what is? I'm quite worried. I'm really worried going, because the Champions League is going to be a wake up call. I'm not that excited for the Champions League. A lot of fans aren't as well, because I was in that camp of, I was sick and tired of getting absolutely battered in it by Bayern Munich and Barcelona under those years on the Wenger, to the point where it's like, don't get us in the top 4. Like, so I'm not as excited for it, because I don't think our team is ready. I think it's going to be a wake up call. And we're in the 3rd pot, which means we could potentially get Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, which, like, honestly, just don't. I won't see you guys for a month if that happens. I'll see you when we're down in the Europa. There's no point. But I'm worried. Yeah. Because this one game a week, we did this with 1 game a week. Imagine next year when we've got Champions League. You can't rotate. You have to play your best team in the Champions League. And then you've got Premier League on top of that. It's cup games in between.
Throw the cups, mate.
So we probably will. Yeah, like we did this year. So, yeah, I don't see... He hasn't shown anything which shows he can compete on multiple fronts. He hasn't shown anything in terms of managing a squad or rotating players when they're out of form. And some of the signings, I mean, oh my God, like, this is what I don't understand. It's just, you can't complain about squad depth when you've signed Fabio Vieira, Kivior, and Jorginho. Like, people are like, look at our bench. It's like, you bought those players. Those are not Wenger's players. They're not, they're not Emery's players. You decided to buy Jorginho in January. Jorginho.
Yeah. I always sort of wonder sometimes when your teams around you are willing to sell big players, that doesn't happen for nothing, does it? There's reasons for that.
He seems to have a certain type of transfer, doesn't he? And it seems to be someone he's got a connection with, or because Gundogan's been the latest that's been linked today, and it's like, Go out and do some scouting, Mikel. Go and find someone that's going to build you. Don't just take off what's already there.
Don't want him. I think Gundogan's a quality footballer, 100%. Don't get twisted, but I don't want him at Arsenal. I don't want to sign an out of contract Gundogan from Man City to Arsenal. What is he coming? Let's be honest. What is he coming to Arsenal to do? Do you think he's coming there to rally the troops and lead this team to a Premier League or Champions League at 33 years old after winning a 3-peat at Man City? Come on. He's coming to just relax.
Just to chill out in London. That's
there's no pressure. It's a no pressure move. Like, I don't want him. Go like Sam said. Go and do some scouting. Go and find the next Caicedo. Go and find those players. Like, why can't we find those players? Why is it always got to be one the other? Fabio Vieira cost 35 million, by the way. 35 million for Fabio Vieira.
He could have been all right. I think he played in much. He's only he's 19?
Played every game he's played. He's been absolutely horrific. I think he's had one appearance off the bench where he looked good, and that's because he was taking shots. But since then, same with Lokonga. These guys are duds, and it's like 20 million on Lokonga, 35 million on Fabio Vieira, and then 25 million on Kivior. So what's that? That's near enough. 80 million?
He has had money, hasn't he?
So that young lad you got out on loan on Norwich as well, Marquinhos. He didn't.
Marquinhos,
yeah, he was another 15, I think.
So what happens if you take that? You know what? You go forget about those 3 players. Just let's go and buy Caicedo in January with that money. What's the better team, with those 3 players or with Caicedo added to the team in January?
Yeah.
And also, we could have bought him. We had 80 million from Mudryk. Why didn't we? And we didn't spend it on Caicedo. I don't understand. It's like they don't want to win, but people have forgotten who our owners are. Like, remember, this is the same owners who were behind Wenger's top 4, and 4th is the goal and the achievement. It was the same ownership. So what makes you think it's going to change now? So, yeah, it's I got to see what we do in the summer, and I'm not feeling very, very great about it. But
you're super happy. I mean, Charlotte's asking, are there any particular positions that you think they need to prioritize?
So we need essentials. On my wish list, I want essentials. Okay, my wish list would be, and this is doable. We've got Champions League football. This is doable. Going in order of priority, we need a central midfielder / DM, or someone who can do basically Declan Rice or Caicedo, or both. I think we need 2. We need a DM, cover for Partey, and then we also need a replacement for Xhaka. That's 2. Chris is right. We need another centre back. Get rid of Rob Holding. We need a right back because we haven't actually got one. We literally don't have a right back. Tomiyasu is basically a centre back, and so is Ben White. But Ben White's been amazing as a right back. But he's not a right back.
The Japanese guy's a right back.
Yeah, Tomiyasu. He's not really a right back though. He's fit. You can play there, but he's not. Yeah, he's not. We need a traditional right back.
I thought that was his bag. I got to be honest.
And he's injury prone as well, so he's been more injured than Tierney.
You got Rob Holding. He can
Good
play
Lord.
on.
No, he needs to be replaced. And I want a striker. I want a goal scorer. Just for God's sake, get me a goal scorer. Just someone who's going to score goals. Just a target man.
So a spine and fullbacks.
Yeah.
A whole new spine of the team.
2 central midfielders, a centre back. Yeah, I'm okay with Ramsdale for now. But the essentials are definitely the central midfielder and a centre back. That has to be done by the first month of the transfer window. But you know what we're like.
I loves it. The thing is, do you know, sometimes I think some managers want to seem like they're doing sensible spending. That's what I get. That's the feeling I get sometimes. So a bit like, oh, well, what we've done, we picked up this guy you've not heard of, this diamond that I'm going to shine up, and he's going to be real nice, instead of just the sensible signing. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, like Caicedo, and Chris is saying De Zerbi apparently thinks he's going to go in the summer. Him and allegedly McAllister. Allegedly. I'm not putting my name to any Liverpool signing, by the way, until he's actually signed now.
No, McAllister's yours. I don't think you'll get much of a fight from English teams for him.
I'm not having the conversation until he's there. His car's in the car parking lot. I'm not having it.
Because Josh's Bellingham Liverpool shirt is now available on eBay with Bellingham on the back.
What a prick. Chris is asking, do you think Arteta's going to get some? He's bound to get some.
100%.
They're so
got money
behind
every
him,
year. Yeah, they're backing him. They're giving him the money. He's chosen this youth project, so I think Which again, Gundogan and Jorginho, that makes sense, but cool. He'll get at least 150 million, surely.
He's probably in his office thinking, "Oh shit, why have I said processed kids? What have I done that for? why did I ever say anything and just kept my stupid mouth shut?" So not happy
want Declan
then.
Rice, man. I want Declan Rice.
So you're not happy on the whole then?
No. I will be post the season, and once it's over and done with. But these last like 3-4 weeks.
I mean, who have Arsenal got this last? Who's their last one now?
Wolves at home, but I'll be out getting drunk and listening to music. So I'll have live score notifications on, and that's it. I won't even have that on. I'll just check after the game and determine, depending on what the score and result was, that determines how many more drinks I'll be having.
Do you know what? It could be a heavy night then. And Heather's in the chat. Hello, Heather. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. But I mean, from somebody who isn't very happy to somebody who should be happy-ish. Man United won Bournemouth 0. You won a game of football. Let's be fair. I think that's pretty much secured your position in the top 4 now. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's as good as being, as you said earlier, until it's signed on the dotted line. Knowing this has kind of been the season of many seasons, it should be. Yeah, Liverpool drawing was not something I expect. I didn't expect Saturday. I was a little bit concerned.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Been on our tail.
Tits off entirely on that.
Exactly. Sweaty bum time on that. We heard a couple of weeks ago on the pod. Well, I'm powdered with Johnson's baby powder, and I feel all right now. In theory, yeah, 2 games at home, Chelsea or Fulham, and you need a point. If you can't do it from that, then we don't deserve to be Champions League, and I'll be worried about going in there. So, yeah, it's been a funny run really since the Carabao Cup final. We've looked leggy. We've had some poor results. Not really had the same balance, a couple of injuries and people sort of filling in different roles, and it's been a bit shaky. But Bournemouth, we played well, I think, for a portion of the game and then sort of reverted back. We seem to struggle in the back end of games and teams are coming at us a bit. So we were kind of fortunate at the end, but yeah, they needed the 3 points. It's up, but up front we're struggling. We really are struggling to score goals. Really are struggling. Garnacho coming back to a little bit of a light because he's someone a bit more direct, but we are short in terms of quality up there. Defensively, we've only conceded 2 in 5 games, and those 2 were ridiculous. They were the De Gea mistake and the Luke Shaw handball against Brighton. So defensively, we've been doing a decent job, but yeah, just one point, regroup, sort the whole ownership nonsense out. Don't get smashed by City in the FA Cup final and come back again in August. Hopefully, as like Lucas says, with a whole new barrage of players coming in as well. But that's linked to point 1.
Nice. I mean, Heather's saying she thinks Bournemouth are on the beach. They're on the beach. She's saying Neto is the GOAT. And I'm not sure if this is a dig or not. That's
definitely a dig.
He had a shot. It was on target. It was straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
you need Harry Kane, man. You're like, I've watched a few of your games in the last 3 months, and your attack is absolutely horrific.
There's just no centrepiece. There's no link. Yeah. There's no, and then someone can score the goals as well. Martial coming off the pitch and sort of giving a look, say, "Why? Because you were trash. Because you've been awful for weeks.
Get rid. He needs
2 seasons. 2 seasons too long. He's been with us.
And do you know what? If I cared about Manchester United's performance, which I don't, but if I did, the big thing for me is, your engine room, if you like, is Casemiro and Eriksen. They're both old and not very leggy. Fernandes is just a sulk. He's just a sulk all the time. But Sancho's just looked lazy this season. God knows what's going on. And Anthony is just poo. I think he's so he's
well, Anthony, I think
I'm giving him another season.
Yeah, it's the money.
I think he's a moment man. He's a moment man. There's areas I think that's still frustrating, even the fans. The defensive work back's not quite right. When to pass it's not quite right. He's got up to speed. He's been better than a lot of our attackers. So Anthony's low down on my list of numpties, but he needs work and development to be better. And part of that maybe he needs a bloody number 9 up front that's a focal point because we haven't got that.
I think Anthony works if you coach. If he needs some coaching, but he holds the ball very well. Doesn't lose it often.
True.
He tracks back a lot. I think we know basically what Grealish does for Man City. Anthony's probably the closest player you have to do that. And Anthony and Sancho are probably the closest. But Sancho's just he offers nothing else apart from he can keep the ball. But he can't
Do you know
even
what
pass
he reminds me of? What Anthony sort of reminds me of a little bit, not for like ability, but type of player. And what they did was Ronaldo's first like period at United, or like Nani, like he's can do bits, and he's really light though, and just really light. I think
definitely Nani. I think not as skillful.
Very Nani, yeah. Nani was like that. You'd have games where you go, "Who the hell's this guy?" And then 5 games of nothing and step overs.
Well, it's
I mean,
yeah, it's there, and I don't know. I'm not a big showboat in the middle of the game sort of guy, really. So he's always going to wind me up.
He's got a tempo as well on him. He's got he's a little bit kind of fruity as well. He can be wound up a bit as well, Anthony. I think he says there's a kid in there that needs some development. But again, he came back end of the transfer window, get a pre-season in him, get him properly coached and bed in, and a striker.
Do you know what? Else. If you had Fergie, I think Anthony had become a player and a half, Genuinely. I don't think Ten Hag is Fergie, and I don't think he's going to get it out of him. And I don't think there's a lot of managers that coach in that way that'll bring that player to where they need to be, to do the work and the graft and to be hard with them in the manner that they need to. But I think he would. I think he'd be away if Fergie was here,
I think he would, but I think also that's your fellow pros, isn't it? It's the guys that we had in the dressing room at that. They used to pull the young. You see them talk about it all the time, pulling the young players together. Like they aren't half on TV a lot talking about it as well.
I was going to say Keane's doing it now.
There's enough of them always say it, but they'd pull the young player in and they wouldn't let any nonsense. Who are you looking at from our squad in terms of experience? Harry Maguire? I don't think so. Casemiro maybe, but is he that kind of character? Over time, maybe he will be a bit more.
And what's his English like? Is his English good enough to be able to give that talking down?
Probably not. But he speaks Brazilian, and Anthony speaks Brazilian, so that's fine. Speaking whatever language they like, as long as it gets through.
I mean, Sancho. I mean, Chris mentioned in the chat that Sancho's mentality is not white. What's going on? How long has he been there now?
2 years, isn't it? It's his second year.
It's 2 years. It's his second year. He had that period off for a long period where something was obviously wrong. They gave him a break. He came back, looked a little bit lively, and again the odd moment, but he just can't find his way in the side. He just looks like confidence completely drained out of him, and he's just ineffectual. Absolutely ineffectual. You can't start him. You can't bring him on. He's not quick. He gives the ball away, which Sancho never. That was something I thought Sancho was quite strong at Dortmund. Get a bit like Anthony, like Lucas said, in terms of keeping that. He gives the ball away so much. His work rate's not there. He's not. And you get 2 years in at a club like Man United, then you've kind of had your time. It's not suddenly going to. I can't imagine we're suddenly going to see Sancho burst into something else next season. But
is there an argument with Sancho and Anthony in that? What was Sancho's best ability at Dortmund? What was next to him when he was playing? He had Haaland. So he had a traditional number 9. If Man United go and get, and this is the thing. See, I think if you bring Kane in, I think Kane helps Rashford, Bruno. These kind of guys, I don't know necessarily with Anthony and Sancho, but if you get someone like Osimhen or someone like that, or a Tony, but obviously Tony's got the ban. I wonder if Sancho, I wonder if that's what he's missing. I wonder if Sancho just needs a number 9 to create space in front, because I feel like Sancho's best games came when he was playing next to Ronaldo.
Probably
from what I saw from United, I think his best performances came when Ronaldo was in.
And he's been one of those, although it's not been spectacular, but when he's had Weghorst in, he's actually been better, I think, off of a Weghorst than kind of having a floater too. But I mean, the other thing is as well, they've got to look at is Garnacho's coming through at an astonishing rate. So Sancho, Anthony and that are going to be down the pecking order if they're not careful, particularly Sancho, because if you bring a Kane in, Rashford's going to play off your left. Garnacho has been playing off the left, but possibly on the right. Anthony plays on the right.
Choice.
Sancho's suddenly third, fourth down. And when's he going to get a game?
He can come play for us, mate. We'll sort him out. we sort him out. Then you worry.
You've got enough wide players up front, haven't you?
Yeah, you want another one who doesn't score goals.
Yeah.
Take them all. But Chris still thinks you should give Sancho a chat, and he's correcting you. They don't speak Brazilian, Portuguese. The Brazilians speak the Portuguese.
He's had 2 years. That's the thing, though. So it goes against him. It's like Anthony. This is his first season, so you can give him a chance, which I think Anthony deserves a chance. The price tag doesn't help, but I think Anthony. Let's see what he can do next season. Whereas Sancho, firstly, he's English, so he obviously didn't play professional, but he's played in England.
Yeah.
And he's not going to a foreign country. He's coming home, so the adaptability and things like that is not necessarily. He doesn't have that factor, and the language, like all these things, like coming back to it shouldn't harm. When you bring Sancho back, you're not going, on FM that will struggle to fit in a new country. That thing,
the adaptability.
The adaptability is not going to be there as it would with someone like Anthony. So you don't have that excuse. But obviously, I get it. You're moving countries. There's still a thing, but you're coming back to where you were born.
It must be tactically, though. It must be a tactical.
It's 100%. I think it's because the ability is definitely. I think the Sancho, I think he's bought himself some time in the fact that you guys just as a whole aren't scoring goals at the moment. Without Rashford's goals, no one else is contributing enough. So when you get that number 9, if it's Kane, I think they'll give it a go and let's see what happens. Because it might go, he might suddenly just completely explode next season with a proper striker there, or it might be exactly the same. And then in that case, I think you'll
offload him, wouldn't you? Next season.
I think you're screwed, to be honest, if that's the case. Yeah, you could. I was saying you might be worth loaning him out, seeing if Dortmund want to take him back for a bit. If they're losing Bellingham,
something to consider, because you look at the number of wide players that they've got. You also got Garnacho coming through. You've got Amad Diallo coming back. What are they going to do about him? They've got to offload one or two. Yeah, he's off. I think Halanga.
He is just not shocking.
Not the level.
It's a weird squad. If you look at United squad, it is a weird squad. It's so unbalanced.
Yeah, this is the issue. It's the balance. And there's a lot that needs to be hoiked out.
It is weird.
Under Ollie, they were just like he was giving contracts out and signing players just without. It was a mess.
Well, it was pre-Ollie because, and this is again one of the Glazer gripes, and that was they were signing long contracts with players because they were sort of the way they were built as assets on the balance sheet rather than Phil Jones, the Phil Jones contract, which is finally expiring. I mean,
madness.
Philip Schofield wasn't the only one giving his orders this weekend. It's Phil Jones has finally put a letter out to the fans saying, "Thank you very much. He's not going to take up his testimonial."
Oh my god!
Because he thinks no one will go.
What a shock!
Wow.
We'll get Chris Smalling back.
Chris Smalling, he was another. We put him on a 5-year contract before we sold him. They've just now at the back end of there's just peripheries around the squad.
Do you know what unnerves me though? I mean, Eriksen's age, Casemiro's age, Vavane's age, and so you've got those, and then you've got a squad full of like Sancho underperforming, Martial. I'm looking Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire. There's some
lot
stuff.
to do.
Even like Lindelof, like these guys are just not.
Yeah,
there's a lot of players that are like your Lindelof, so your backup, what I would call your backup third and fourth. Like he's proven at the minute, coming in alongside Varane is done all right, sat in. But you want Varane and Martinez. You've got Varane. You need a long-term plan eventually for say Casemiro and Eriksen, still both their first season, but you need something else coming through with a bit of energy. He doesn't trust Fred, as do not a lot of Man United fans. McTominay gives you kind of a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10 a week. They're all kind of these cusp players, but they're not going to get you anywhere near to where Man United want to compete and
big titles, which is what you need. You've got a lot of work to do, bloody hell, when you think about it. Like all of us have a lot of work to do this summer. It's very, very.
The gap's massive. The problem is the gap is massive. If we're all looking at each other, and I think this is the problem when we come to City, we're all fighting, squabbling amongst ourselves, looking at each other. We'd have a right good battle probably at the minute if you took City out of it because we're all not perfect.
Oh yeah, it'd be very entertaining.
The top four battle next year is going to be ridiculous.
It's fighting.
City,
We've got Chris in the chat. Jones won more Premier League titles than Gerrard. I would still put their careers up next to each other and decide which one you want to have, because I think 10 minutes a season doesn't constitute winning the Premier League. Everton Casemiro thinks 31. I think they've got years left, but years a high level with the legs and the energy you need.
Casemiro, I think so.
Casemiro, I think so. You can't have, and I don't think both for a long period. Not forgetting, stuff Eriksen's been through. I've got to imagine that's at some stage going to not elongate his career. But
exactly,
you need some pace and some around Casemiro too.
Yeah,
he's dropped off second half of the season and a little bit ponderous on the ball, and a lot of that I think is he's not got pace around him to help him out. So.
But he's never really had major injuries, Casemiro, for his career. Eriksen's had even before his issues with his heart. He had a few nasty ones. But yeah, I think Sam's right. You've got to put a Genie Wijnaldum or something next to Casemiro.
Yeah, a technical workhorse with a bit of a quick acceleration.
That beautiful Liverpool midfield we had, and with Gigi and Hendo in. That was superb.
Go to the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga just produces that player over and over again. Got to go scout there.
Energy. But I mean, and we were talking about disappointments. We might as well go to Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 1. I mean,
you're so jammy.
First of all, I will say Bobby Firmino and Milner deserve the send-off that they had, especially when you look over their careers. I will say, I do not think there is another sign in the Premier League that matches Jay Milner for value. As a value side, he is the best signing I think I can think of in the Premier League for a team, in that he was free and he's won everything. He's played everywhere. He's a model professional. He's brought a fabulous mentality in the squad. I cannot think of another signing of that sort of value in all terms of the word value,
How much? Where is he? He was Villa first, right? Or Newcastle?
Villa.
I think it was Villa, then Newcastle.
He was an attacking mid, wasn't he?
Leeds, I think, actually, at some point, wasn't he?
Maybe Leeds, yeah.
Was that before, mate? No, that couldn't have been. It was Villa, Newcastle, City, Liverpool, or City, Newcastle, Liverpool.
I'm gonna sort of Leeds. He
Leeds
went
City
first.
To Liverpool. Right?
Leeds United, Villa, City for 5 years, and then with us since 2015.
And you got him on a free. How much did City pay for him? Like 30.
Let's see. Newcastle loans 26 million allegedly back in 2010
for someone who you literally play anywhere in the midfield, and they were playing him on the wing. They're playing him on the wing. Then he moved into like DM/central midfield.
Yeah, we've played him.
Won two titles with C?
Yeah, I think he's in titles. I think he won like an FA Cup and something else. We've had him play right back, left back. He's played in the central midfield, central defence. He's played on both wings. Genuinely, I think the only place he hasn't played is up front, and in goals, that's it.
He's a great footballer, James Milner. He's a bit of a comedy show now, just because of how he is. But anyone who knows football knows James Milner's career. He was even at Villa. I remember you're right when he was the AM. It was like he was quality.
I mean, he was our left back for practically an entire season.
Yeah,
he was our left foot. Apparently, Nick Saunders in the chat.
Played up front for C, probably. Yeah.
It would surprise me. He's just the man's an absolute legend.
And then Bobby, like,
and do you know what? I remember when we signed him. Was it Hoffenheim? I think we signed him from. I think.
Is he the best false nine in the Prem?
Hoffenheim.
Since the Premier League started, is he the best false nine? I guess it depends what you consider false nine, because some would say Bergkamp was a false nine, but not really. If you're playing in a 2, it's not really.
Yeah,
it was an out and out, because you got your Bergkamp.
Yeah,
but he was next to Henry, so it's not the same. Out and out striker, but who plays as a false 9. You've probably only got Berbatov, Bobby Firmino, Carlos Tevez.
Yes, Tevez. Yeah, but I think again, he wasn't very expensive when we signed him. I'm going to double check. I think it was high 29 million,
and he was absolutely awful that first year you signed him. I remember.
Well, it's because they played him out on the bloody wing.
So bad. I couldn't believe the transformation. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers had no idea what he was doing with him.
Oh, because when he came, I mean, I'd followed Bundesliga off and on.
He came with a bit of a profile, yeah.
Yeah, and I was relatively happy because I think
He was good at Hoffenheim.
Yeah, I think it's when Sterling went. I think Sterling
Yep.
went and he came. He was around that, and I was quite comfortable with it. And then, but he was playing him as if he was Sterling. Like, no, they're different people. They're not the same. But I mean, he's just been just amazing. So they thoroughly deserve their send offs, and I have no upset about him deciding to run his contract and to let him go. And I think he deserves the opportunity to go wherever he's going to go. I'm guessing Barcelona, you know. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I think Serie A, no? Milan or Juve.
I haven't seen anything, and to be honest, I haven't looked because it makes me sad. But that's where I would assume he'd ended up. So that was nice. Now the game itself.
Wait, you're forgetting there were two other players.
Oxlade Chamberlain. I think he's played about 5 times over his 4 years with us. Something like that. I mean, he's been
to more Little Mix concerts than he's played for Liverpool.
To be fair to Ox, he did have that Champions League goal against City, which got you beat them in that game, didn't you?
He was a good player. The annoying thing is he is a good player.
He was a very good player. Oh, you'd have to convince me. I was pissed when we sold him.
But he's got no legs. He just couldn't do anything. And Kate was one of the biggest disappointments I have ever.
So Liverpool fans can admit this now, that he is just in a complete and utter flop, because Liverpool don't get enough. You guys do not get enough shit for this Cater signing as you should. It's 50 million though.
But you know what? We even waited a season. We waited a season for him. I mean, we were that adamant that that's who we wanted.
Swept that under the rug so nicely, but it's like Liverpool do not get enough shit for the money they spend on him.
Because in Germany, he was so good. Was it Leipzig?
Oh, it's quality. Leipzig. He was brilliant.
And he was superb. And we signed him, but we couldn't get him until like the end of the season. I think we signed him in like the January, and we couldn't get him until next season. And I was like, that's fine because he's great. When he comes, he's going to be great. Garbage. Don't know what. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I think he'll be right when he moves on. Good player, but doesn't fit your system. And sick note.
Yeah, God knows what's happened. But yeah, this game is a prime example of why you don't upset referees, because then they give you nothing. Gakpo was physically assaulted to the point that his shit was ripped and his chest was gashed, and they were like, "Nah, it's all right. just
play on.
Don't worry about that." We was, I think Mane did that once, and I was legitimately cacking myself that he was going to get sent off, and I think that's happened a couple of times. But that was just dangerous. And then the offside for the goal. What was that? Offside. I'm trying to think of a really polite way to put it because it angered me. It infuriated me to the very depths of my soul. I thought, what is going on here? It was so annoying. I mean, it's got Ollie Watkins, Mr. Penn. That's just because he just couldn't cope with Alisson, who's the most beautiful goalkeeper in the world. That's what it was, because no one to score against him. The most infuriating game of football I think I've ever experienced as a Liverpool fan for what we needed. And I mean, the officiating. I mean, Heather's putting here. Justin who got punched in the face with a broken nose last week. Nothing. I think, it's a prime example of why you don't upset the refs, because then they'll give you nothing. They'll let anything happen, and they've just been garbage. And I think we weren't awful. I don't think that we were awful, but it's annoying. It's annoying as hell. I'm looking forward to playing in a different European competition though next season. It'd be interesting. Give it a go.
Woo! New theme tune.
See if I'm gonna have to learn a new theme tune. I'm gonna have to play against new teams we haven't played against in a long time. It's an exciting adventure, and that's the way I'm looking at it.
Lucas and I can tell you it's not. It's not. It's a ball ache and it goes on forever.
Yeah, well, we seem to thrive in the season if we play more games. I think that's where we really come out of our shell, when we're playing lots of games.
You got a good academy though, so we'll see some the next Curtis Jones, and
might be good for your squad.
Harvey Elliott. I like Curtis Jones. I prefer him to Harvey Elliott, but he just can't stay fit.
Yeah, it's interesting because Harvey Elliott. There's a young striker
I've heard
whose
about this
name
guy.
name
I always
escapes
mention
me
it, yeah.
entirely now. He's that's so annoying. But there's a young striker that's looking really, really fire as well.
The next Brewster.
It's no. I can't think of his name. It's doing my head in. It's Charlotte in the chat. Definitely will do the like bite with the Thursday night football. Is it Thursday night? I didn't realize it's been that long. It's been that long since I've done either.
Oh mate, you're gonna hate that. You just got to get through the group stages, mate, because it's the most dire. It's like the quality of football in that group stage is horrible.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But I mean, talking of horrible, I mean, we'll say it quickly. Well done, Manchester City.
Yep.
Woo.
Congratulations on the 3-peat.
Yeah, on another Premier League. Well done for outspending every single team in the league, breaching 855,000, breaching more financial fair play rules than Ivan Toney's bets. That's some doing, but don't worry because you're really rich and you'll get away with it. So nobody cares.
Treble incoming.
What do you think, Sam?
Sam, you're the only one who can stop him because Pension FC over in Inter.
Wout Weghorst will put his cape on. He's ready to go.
You've got the best chance. I'm sorry, Lukaku, Edin Dzeko, and Mkhitaryan are not stopping Man City in the Champions League.
Champions League final's done, and we've got an outside shot the way we're playing at the moment.
Yeah,
you can only hope one-off game, cup final, derby, something happens. But
you're not getting battered in that FA Cup. Like it's not going to happen.
Do you know what?
I wish it would.
I genuinely think not Pep, because Pep's a donkey when it comes to cup finals, but Haaland. I think Haaland would not surprise me at all if he really wants to hurt you. That wouldn't surprise me. And he thinks, you know what? Have it. That's what I think. I mean, Heather in the chat, so you need to take it hard.
Play Roy Keane.
Because I generally think the man's going to be on it. I think he's going to want to really.
He's going to be. They're going to be prepping them now for the FA Cup one's the next one. Almost probably
next.
Was it better that we would have been after the Champions League? Yeah, it's next. I'm coming back from a flight from Mallorca an hour before. I'm not even possibly even going to see it. I'm going to spend that whole plane journey worrying about Ellen Haaland. I think it is a tough ask because I think they're gunning for it. Their confidence is something else. But if they're going to do it, I'd rather we had a shot at doing something about it than not, and then we can't complain if they do it.
Yeah.
That's a lovely attitude to take. I like that. At least with
it,
we will complain, but yeah. Well, it's 2-0 down, and I'm getting back on the plane.
Well, Heather's asking what sneaky defender have you got that can nobble him?
Phil Jones's last game. There you go. Perfect.
Do you know what? He might as well. Because what's he got to lose? He might as well go in to hurt him.
We're gonna start with Jones and Maguire at centre back. With one mission.
Just kill him. Just stay near the back, because if you try to run towards him, you won't catch him. Because he can run faster than somebody in a Zimmer frame. So you won't be up for that. But Chris says you want to pull his hair. And Heather said, if you bring some magnets, you can F up his robotics. it's the only option that you've got. But yeah, I think that's happening, isn't it? That's the next trebles.
It's hard to see anything else, isn't it? As Luke said, Inter Milan in the final, you look at the squads, you look at how they played and how you just go, I can't physically see a way. Can't see a way.
Yeah. Only thing in their defense is Inter's team is quite a good matchup against, man. It'll be a good final, I think. Like, they're going to lose, and they're going to lose relatively comfortably. But I think with Champions League, anything can happen. But they play that back five, and their matchup actually. I think they're going to see. They can nullify City for a good chunk of the game. But I think once the doors are open, it's done.
I think Haaland's going to score in the first 7 minutes.
Really?
I genuinely, I think they're going to go for them. Inter are not going to know what the hell is going on, concede one, and then sort themselves out, but they won't be able to score because they're going to be so tight. They're not going to be able to go forward because they're suddenly thinking, "Holy shit, who is this lunatic running towards us?"
Because they pack the midfield into, which means De Bruyne's not going to shouldn't in theory get a lot of space, which means that you can kind of stop the main supply to Haaland. But the problem is Haaland's pace, but then you do have 3 centre backs. So you can just put one of them in the whole game, but it's it's the matchup of Inter can work. They can hold on. They can basically hold on for a bit longer, but they're not winning it. Like, let's not get it twisted. They're not winning it.
I don't know. You get excited now. I mean, Charlton, hopefully Haaland's due a software.
Oh, I'd love nothing more. Lukaku winner, please.
Oh, we'd all be there. I don't think we'd ever celebrate Romelu Lukaku goal more, would we?
And his Scoops in the chat as well. Hoops Crab stops crying. Do you know what, Scoops? Actually, the first 15 minutes was Lucas expressing dissatisfaction. That's the polite
clown
way.
show of a season.
Lucas's eulogy, we're calling it, that opening segment.
That's what we opened with. You did miss it. You're gonna have to rewatch it because I genuinely skipped 10-15 minutes easy. I think you thoroughly enjoyed it. Big car just driving past then. But yeah, I don't know. I think I think Inter are going to concede early, realign themselves, but then not be able to do anything because they're too busy trying to counteract what Man City are doing, and then I think United are going to get hammered in the FA Cup. Genuinely.
I'm definitely getting hammered. Whatever's going on.
But I think other games. I mean, Leicester Newcastle, I believe, is still 0-0 at half time at the moment. Yeah, that is happening. I mean, shame on Newcastle for not scoring so far. I think obviously Forest pulled themselves away. That's pretty much Forest safe now. But Scoops in the check. So I'm always interested what Scoops got to say. Just he's back with Mad Willed by Gary Jules. Do you know what? That is going to be that's going to be our next TikTok.
That's the edit job.
that's what it is. But I think you've got Wolves and Everton. I mean, 99th minute equaliser. I didn't know he was the ice cream man, Yerry Mina, with a 99. I mean, that was something I genuinely didn't see that happen. From what I was following, I thought they were done for. And then Leeds, obviously, Big Sam he's not really turned it on in the way that he wanted. He got outdone with almost by like Big Sam Light and David Moyes in some ways. So it's down, and then obviously Leicester doing 0-0. It is sort of. I mean, this game's quite pivotal. I think today, but
I mean, the fact Newcastle 0-0 at this point is not. It doesn't look good.
No, I mean, it puts them both nervy, doesn't it? Because Newcastle are just looking for that point to be 100%. You sneak a cheeky Leicester winner, and everything's on for grabs on that final day.
Wait, just pause. Wait, have Juve been deducted points again?
Well, do you know what? I was going to come on to that, because I mean, early in the chat,
right, 3-0 as well.
Where is it? Yeah, they are. Right, this was right early days.
They're down to 7.
Deduct 10 points.
What are they? You can't just yo-yo with it. Yeah, points deduction. No, not a points deduction. 10 points this time.
But I mean, we'll touch on that. Let's not be too premature, because that's not nice.
So what are the games at the end? Are any of those teams playing each other on the last day of the season? Because that would be
Leeds are playing Spurs, so that's 3 points for Leeds.
Oh, so Leeds are going to survive then.
I mean,
okay, that sorts it. There you go. It's solved. Whoever's playing Spurs is staying up.
I mean, Leeds, Spurs. Who else have we got? Where's the other one? Leicester are playing West Ham.
Yeah,
and
Everton playing Bournemouth. They're all winnable games.
Do you know, if Bournemouth could get off the beach and decided let's not go out with a whimper, let's play football for a bit. I mean,
Leeds are awful. They can't. Yeah, Bamford's injured. They can't score goals. But Spurs are an absolute joke. Although they have something to play for. Spurs are the only opposition that have something to play for on the last day.
Pride.
Europa League, I think.
Yeah, they're fighting Villa, aren't they? They're fighting Villa. And Brentford could still get Europa League.
Brentford could sneak it. Yeah, so Spurs actually have something to play for, and they've been embarrassing that. Poor Leeds. That's actually going to be the one game Spurs turn up. The Leeds are gone. My original one is there. Leeds are gone. Leeds and
So,
Leicester.
Yeah. So if you think Everton, I do think they could get something.
I don't think
against
Leicester beat
Bournemouth.
West Ham. I think West Ham are pretty good right now, and they've got momentum of being in the final. They're going to be tough.
Leicester and Leeds will lose, and Everton will get a shabby draw, and it'll be enough.
I mean, what a dirty end. I mean, I've been so torn over whether I've wanted Everton to go down or not, because the football side of me doesn't, because I love Sean Dyche. But
You
just
love a Merseyside derby.
Yeah, I mean, it's guaranteed 6 points every season for us.
Yeah.
So that's always nice. You need to have that. But also, they're just an institution. They've been there that long. But part of me really wanted them to go down because it'd be really funny.
Yeah,
you have got to get through that 90. You got to get through that 90 minutes without Pickford destroying someone's limb as well.
Yeah,
a Van Dijk or a...
The Prem doesn't want them to go down as well, because that's a chunky fixture in the.
What do they with a massive stadium coming up as well?
I was saying to some United fans, I was like, outside of top six, outside of the big six clubs, and your local rivals. So this is probably more for you, Sam. Who would you say are the big games you look forward to in the season? Not look forward to, but the games like these are big games. For like Arsenal, it's definitely Everton, West Ham, always.
Yeah, they just West Ham for me. West Ham because they're always a tricky one. West Ham's been a big one. Southampton for me because of locality, but West Ham and Everton. You know, West Ham and Everton, you're always getting a game. They're always going to want to beat you. They're always
up for it.
Do you know what they've got in common as well? Them two, they're still sort of reeking of David Moyes, isn't they?
It's the Moyes effect.
I think it's set. I think that yeah. Well, we never know. It's been a strange season, so there could be some shocks.
Leicester is still 0-0 with Newcastle. They win today, and then they're in a different position, aren't they? The whole thing turns on its head.
It would be funny Newcastle losing today.
And then you've got a shot, Josh. You've got a shot on the last day.
Can you catch them?
Yeah. Goal difference, though.
Yeah.
If Newcastle lose, they're currently if Newcastle lose by 1, there's a 6-swing goal difference. Liverpool need to win, Newcastle need to lose.
I mean, who are we playing on the last?
Liverpool have the potential to put some goals in.
We're playing Southampton.
There you go. Cricket score, and then Newcastle have got.
If they lose and Newcastle lose at half time, but this was last season. Then you need to put goals past Wolves last season, and you didn't.
Oh, we were so close though. Stop reminding me of last season. Just because you've ended the season dreadfully, you have to keep upsetting me. But it's all to play for on the end. I mean, Chelsea desperately trying to get into the top 10.
Right happening.
It's over.
This is just superb. That is the most expensive team ever to finish outside of the top 10. I think that is immense. But I mean, Everton
City's third choice team.
Who they're gonna have as their manager? That's match made in heaven. Then underperforming team, magic. That is just absolutely ideal. But
he's probably one of the better options for what they've got. But they're not gonna win anything. So.
Do you know what? He'll be their equivalent to Arteta, mate.
Yeah, he'll get him in the top 8 for sure. He'll get him first season he'll get him in the top 8, and then
he'll spend a couple of hundred million for the top 8.
The problem is with Chelsea, they've got some good players.
And they're going to keep chucking at it. They're going to keep chucking and keep chucking until something clicks.
It's not like their squad is bad. Their squad is actually very good.
They're just a weird team. Weird team. But I mean, the top 4, provided Newcastle don't do anything silly, is pretty much set now with City, Arsenal. I can't remember who was third. Are you third or Newcastle third?
Newcastle third.
Newcastle third, and then yourselves. Obviously, us and probably Brighton will be playing in the Europa League, and then Aston Villa or.
It'd be nice. Emery's had a hell of a second half of the season to do that.
And he's playing Brighton, but at home. I mean, Brighton are pretty much secured in where they are. They're not going to achieve anything more by really doing much more. So you never know. That could happen. And then going down, of course, we are saying Southampton at the moment, Leicester, Leeds, and Everton are just
Yep.
they're just gonna scrape it for the skin of their teeth.
Again, 2 years in a row.
Swines. But moving on. I mean, that does take us. Hopefully, I've got the right slides. I have. That does take us to the league.
We're still doing these.
I
thought they've all been wrapped up.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much.
More or less.
It's just whether Madrid finished second or third.
Well, it just means we can finish the show quicker. But and I mean, what I think is important for us to touch on before we go into any games, and just as a comment in regards to the issues that Vinicius Junior experienced. Of course, it's just bloody diabolical the fact that there's still that level of racism still in European mainland leagues, because it's not isolated to Spain. It is Italy as well. And when they say it's not the leagues aren't racist, it's not this, it's not that, then act accordingly. I think
exactly.
Do something to demonstrate.
Leave. Well, I don't understand why. Why would you stay there? You can't make these complaints and then sign an extension and then not do it. Like, you have to also lead by example. And if I was in your shoes, I'd say, you know what? If this doesn't stop, I'm handing in a transfer request end of the season. Because let's be honest, who has the most power in that league is Perez.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just they don't punish it. The league don't punish it.
They don't care.
The teams don't punishment, and it's bad. It's awful. And I think, you know, you can't say one league's better than the other. It's especially bad though. For some reason, mainland Europe in La Liga
and Serie A is just it's rife.
And the only thing you can do, I mean, no one from the league is listening. If ever they do, what we ask you to do something. Just do something about it. If you want to back up your words, you actually back up your words. Don't just words are easy, you know.
It's disgusting what they were doing to him, even before the game as well.
It's I don't know. I haven't got words. I mean, Chris in the chat said the Liga president is a phallus. So we'll edit in that. He's a phallus, and he blamed Vinicius Junior.
Signing the fans, which is unbelievable.
Because just Lukaku got the same thing, didn't he? He did his normal goal celebration towards the fans, and he got carded for antagonising fans. Oh. And I thought, what world is this? What is actually going on? So I mean, we as a podcast, that's not the sort of behaviour or anything.
Tell him to piss off, Vinicius. Tell him to piss off. Come to Arsenal. We'll take care of you, mate.
No, don't go to. I was going to say, come to Liverpool. You've seen us before. You've played us more regularly. You know what we're all about, and you've beaten us.
You'd literally be the best team for him in this league as well. He would. Oh my God, Vinicius at Liverpool would be it'd be a match made in heaven. Yeah.
We'll have to start it now. We'll have to start some sort of transfer rumor and just see if it picks up traction. I mean, if anybody's on Twitter and they follow Ivan LFC, he was a big one for like Liverpool transfers. He just says stuff and just says it and says it and says it. That's what we need.
Nunes for Vinny. There you go.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'll take that. I'll take that. But that was a horrible shadow that just needs to stop. They need to do something about it. They aren't. So I don't know what you say other than we'll give that to La Liga. But football wise, Sam, anything exciting football wise?
Football-wise, well, it's all wrapped up, isn't it? Barcelona were done, and they've sorted themselves out. They've got the league in the bag, and then, as most teams do when they win the league, they go and lose, don't they? They went and lost at home to Real Sociedad, so it was a massive win for them because that puts them in a pretty convincing spot now for the Champions League. So they might be going back to Champions League. Elsewhere, obviously, we spoke about what happened with Madrid, but Valencia won that game in the end 1-0. Valencia's fantastic run has put them up to 13th because they were in some real trouble relegation-wise. They look safe. And of course, Chris was mentioned in the chat as well. Vinicius Junior did get sent off in injury time, but other circumstances, I imagine, had led to that fury popping over. Elsewhere in the league, Atletico Madrid jumped Real Madrid with a 3-0 victory. Villarreal went and beat my Girona, not your Girona, but my Girona were beaten 2-1. Last gasp goal by Gerard Moreno. Athletic Bilbao 2-1 over Celtic Vigo, so they're still fighting just about for a European spot. And a point for Elche, with Getafe, who are in a absolute bun fight with Valladolid and Cadiz for the relegation spot. So that's pretty much La Liga in a nutshell.
And I mean, I know you touched on this the other week. Elche are done now. I tell you what I did find online though. Elche's kit is beautiful. It's a beautiful kit.
Are they green and white, Elche? Is that?
Yeah,
Elche?
well, white with a bit of green is the one that I found. And I thought, I like
lovely.
that. I'm going to purchase it. I am going to purchase it.
Like a key lime pie.
I mean, in the chat, Charlotte wants to invite Vinny to Rochdale to meet the Wealdstone Raider. And she'll get the GoFundMe started immediately. And I'm sure he can't wait. I mean, Serie A, this table has changed now.
It has changed.
This is no longer the time. And I did this
news.
today. I did this afternoon. And it's not right anymore. So where are Juventus now, Lucas?
7th. They're now 7th. From 2nd to 7th. It's mad. And they push Roma up into a Conference League spot.
We've still got 3 games for it to change as well.
That's actually wild. So Roma could get Conference League just based off that. And yeah, like you said, there's 3 games left. Napoli beat Inter, even though they've got nothing to play for. Milan absolutely destroyed. Verona? No, not Verona. Sampdoria, who are relegated anyway. So Roma drew. They've won 1 in 5. So, I mean, Mourinho's in that final. He's going to win it. That will give them their Champions League football. So the league, they don't care about it. So it's really, it was interesting before, but now it's not. It's just it's Napoli have won it, and now it's Lazio, Inter, and AC. And that's it. Atalanta aren't going to do anything, and Roma aren't going to do anything because they're in a Europa League final. So if they want Champions League, they just got to win that. I mean,
has anybody seen anything about why they've had these points docked? Or is this just on review? They've decided you're going to have 10 off.
Had in the same season as well.
I thought, wasn't it? It had gone back to a different council arbitration.
Yeah.
But I thought that wasn't happening for a while, and then
I thought it'd be in the summer or something.
Yeah, this is by the Federal Court of Appeal in the latest twist, just about. So they had 15, ordered a review, got nothing. Now they've got 10. And they've had 8 of their executives have also been acquitted, winning the right to appeal their bans, which include Pavel Nedved and presumably that bloke that was at Tottenham as well.
Pavel.
Yeah, the Juventus chief football officer, Francesco Caro, added, "The first impressions are negative. We are not satisfied."
No.
Funny that.
So, in fairness, how quick have they done that, though? Because when stuff's happened in, like, England, the English leagues, where teams are getting deducted points and stuff, like the Man City investigation, they said that's not even going to start. It's not even going to start until this bloody summer.
No, they just tie them up, don't they?
Yeah, if it was anything like that, how amazing would it be if we were a bit like Italy, and then we come to the last day and they go, actually, Man City, 15 points gone, lads. And,
you could be celebrating the title next February, Lucas.
That would be a laugh.
Yeah, we'll replay that rant to you back. But what a strange league. And strange things. Please. Dortmund, I'm on top. Please. Bayern Munich have decided that they might not want to win. They might not want to win the Bundesliga.
This would be the second biggest L.
Yeah,
in the top 5 leagues. I
think this would be the 10th. I think this would be the 10th. 11th. Incidentally, since Jurgen Klopp left Dortmund, I don't believe there's been another manager that has won other than Bayern Munich. I think Jurgen Klopp was the last manager to win the Bundesliga apart from Bayern Munich. Because he's the man. But yeah, they lost 3-1 to Leipzig. They didn't just lose. They lost 3-1. 2 penalties granted in the last half an hour. Doesn't matter. The fact is they were only 1-0 up after 25th minute. So they had a huge a half and a bit where they could have done something. They didn't. They've decided that they're not interested. And Borussia Dortmund actually won 3-0 against Augsburg. So that was fabulous to see. They've decided that they want a bit. They do want a bit. And it comes down to the last game then.
this will be an astronomical L for Bayern's board if they don't win this league, because they sacked Nagelsmann. 10 years in a row they've won the league. And like the, what's it called, DFB Pokal, like every bloody year they win that. And they sacked Nagelsmann when he was in all three competitions. So he was right behind Dortmund. They only slipped up one game. He was still in the Champions League and he was still in the DFB Pokal. Tuchel comes in. They get knocked out of the German Cup. Then they get knocked out of the Champions League. And then to lose the league to Dortmund as well. Dortmund. Oh,
his ex-club as well. His ex-club. A Tommy Tuchel treble.
Astronomical L.
I mean, if my maths is right, I think Dortmund need to win their last game.
Yeah. But they will. They're playing Mainz.
They're playing Mainz. Mainz at home.
4 losses in the last, 5.
So
it's done.
Munich
game isn't even easy. Munich have got Cologne away.
Yeah.
They're actually in good form.
It's
one of the informed teams.
I think it's just superb. Absolutely superb.
Good, right.
I mean, sad times for Union Berlin. Obviously, I think they lost 4-2 to Hoffenheim. I believe their last game is Werder Bremen. So they could potentially, because Werder Bremen aren't particularly the form team at the moment. As you can see on there, they've had a draw, 3 losses, their last 4. But if they can put points on the board, more points than Freiburg, they'll be in the top 4, which would be lovely for Union Berlin. And Freiburg, I wish them all the best, because I'd like them to sort of stay up there as well. They won against Wolfsburg, even with a man sent off. Again, my favourite type of sending off, 90 minutes plus 2. I think that's superb. You're winning 2-0. Why not get sent off, eh? Just
early holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have to play next week.
Yeah, I
beat the rush.
It's just superb. But I mean, but the looks of it is. I mean, the top three are pretty much set, and it's just whether it's going to be Berlin or Freiburg. I really wanted to be Berlin to be in the top 3, Freiburg to be there. But look at Bayer Leverkusen. Look at that. That is just immense from where they were. When old Xavi took over. I mean, they drew 2-2 against Mönchengladbach. They also had a 94th minute sending off, because why not? Why not get sent off in the 94th minute? But Mönchengladbach actually equalised in the 90th minute. So that maybe it is that irritation. But they look like they could be in a European spot potentially. It's all in their own hands as they play Bochum. But they're playing Bochum away. And Bochum, what is that? That's a playoff, isn't it? The 16th position. They have a weird relegation playoff. So they're going to be avoiding that. So it'll be a tough game. And Chris is saying they've had a bit of a dip. They've only won 1-6.
They got Mourinho'd as well, didn't they? The stats in the midweek semi-final, they had about 39 shots and Roma had 1. It was a classic Mourinho.
Classic.
I hope he stays. I genuinely hope. I hope Xavi Alonso does another season at Leverkusen, at least another season. Just don't go to bloody Spurs or Chelsea. Just don't do that. Just stay at Leverkusen for another year and build yourself up and go through that, and that'll be wonderful. But I mean, exciting times in the Bundesliga. A Liga 1, I've not even looked at. I haven't looked at the fixtures. I don't care. I really don't care. I mean, Angers are down. I mean, it's between these teams at the bottom whose names I can't say. Troyes and Ajaccio. Those guys, they could be going down. And that's it. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain, they've just spoiled the league, haven't they? But Lens have been on a bit of a tear, incidentally. And they've actually pulled themselves and pushed themselves ahead of Marseille. They were behind by Marseille by a few points about a week or so ago. And they really pulled it up and done well. But no one cares. You spoiled it. Well done, PSG, for spoiling that league. But the last bit, the last bit before we complete the season, the exciting things that are happening, it's the playoff finals. Oh, I have a personal investment in the championship, Coventry against Luton. Given that my wife and all my in-laws are from Coventry, my daughter was born in Coventry. Come on, Mark Robbins! Up the Sky Blues. Oh, that is absolutely superb.
That's going to be a massive game.
My godson's a Luton fan, so I'm on the. I like Coventry, but I've got to side with Luton.
And do you know what? Both teams have got a story. I mean, obviously, Luton being the smaller club that they are, I saw a picture the other day of Luton Stadium. I've heard Charlotte talk about it a lot. I actually saw it, and that is brilliant. It is superb. It's the how. I mean, imagine the noise on match day for the houses that are backed onto like this side wall and joins the stadium. Christ, I bet you can't have anything hanging up on the walls. And Simon in the chat, come on, you Sky Blues, exactly. Come on, you Sky Blues. I'm excited. I mean, what a job Mark Robbins have done. I mean, I think if he gets Coventry promoted, I think he's manager of football in England this season.
He's won it.
He's done
they'll get destroyed in the Premier League next season. Both of those two teams are going to get absolutely cooked. I feel for them.
Yeah, this is very, very true. But I mean, it's just a fabulous story for both teams. There isn't really a loser apart from the team that doesn't win. But yeah, I'd love to see Coventry. I mean, Charlotte's calling it in the chat. Coventry Wednesday in Carlisle. Chris Wednesday in Carlisle, and I think he said Coventry earlier. Yeah. So I think Lucas,
I agree with Coventry Wednesday, but I'm going to go with Stockport.
Do you know what? Yeah. Well, I mean, Heather in the chat mind saying everybody said that about Bournemouth.
It did, and Forest.
Yeah, but Forest did, didn't it?
Yeah, Forest actually did. To be fair,
that's got a good pump in.
Bournemouth. I don't know. Did people say? Oh yeah, they did actually. Small. Yeah, but they were also saying Eddie Howe is like. They were bigging them up a lot when they came up.
Yeah, but I mean, every 2 weeks, Heather's giving you digging you out now, crap. Every 2 weeks, even 2 weeks ago, Lucas, you said we'd likely still get relegated. I think this is the way of giving fingers without giving fingers. I think
next season you will.
But so I mean, yeah, Barnsley Chef Wednesday. And incidentally, did anybody realise that Sheffield Wednesday was now part of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft? I haven't seen that badge before.
That crest?
Yeah, what is that?
That's Barnsley's crest.
Cracking badge.
Exactly. I mean,
what a second leg that was the other day for them, by the way. Though. I mean, Jesus. Charlotte and I were doing the light bite, so completely forgot about it. Come off, and all I got was a text said, WTF, turn on Sky Sports.
That's another astronomical L. That team, that was 4-1. 4-0 aggregate.
4-0 first leg that they lost, and then not only 4-4, but in like the 8th minute of injury time as well. And then they went behind in extra time.
You got to fold the club. Just fold the club.
If you live in the borough of Peter, Jesus. The borough of Peter are just going to be... You need a summer holiday after that.
Yep.
That was wild. So we all saying, I mean, Barnsley, I know very little about Barnsley, other than they speak funny up there, don't they?
Yeah.
I've seen Barnsley win in the playoff final, actually, once their last League One playoff. They beat Millwall a number of years ago. God blimey. But we're all after, as us muggles, we're all after Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah,
winning that one.
I wouldn't even mind Luton. That's better for us because another London team. So it works out better. More London teams, the better. Less travel for the away games.
Oh, you'll be just stop Oils. It'd been wet dream, wouldn't it? They'll love it. More football fans and
get Luton up there, get Leighton Orient up there, Charlton. Everyone can come apart from Watford.
No bias at all. Charlotte in the chat. Barnsley sold Keith Hill and Matty Dunn from us, so she's still bitter. Against Barnsley. So we're all against Barnsley. And Chris is saying in the chat here, Darren Moore got race abuse online by his own fans after the first leg. I did see that. And I think it was a Clinton Morrison giving Darren Moore a lot of love afterwards, after the game as well, which was good to see. But yeah, again, if that's your behaviour in football, just don't go. Or in society, in general, if you think that's acceptable society in life, you know, maybe not. I was going to say don't partake, but that's terrible. I wouldn't quite go that far. Stop it. Don't do it. Get a grip of yourself and live like a normal, respectable human being. But when I was doing League Two playoffs, I saw that badge. I thought that was Rochdale for a moment. I thought, what is going on here? They aren't in the playoff finals. But it's like Stockport. Stockport stole Rochdale's badge and just changed the wording in it. So Stockport, Carlisle. I mean, fair, but it wasn't Stockport in the Vanarama, the league before.
Yeah, they came up last season, didn't they? And another one, they came up with a bit of money behind them, I think.
Yeah, so, I mean, so
Back to
they
back.
that would be impressive, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
That's
that's supposed to be
I'm backing
impossible, isn't it?
Carlisle though, because it's just a horrendous journey for all those Portsmouth fans in League One. Let's have a bit of Carlisle.
And they've got a dragon in their badge. So I'm going for that as well. Charlotte said she hates Stockport, and because of that, I mean, if you saw on Twitter, Sam declared Charlotte is the boss on the podcast. So we love. She comes across all sweet and nice and really, really lovely and likable, but behind the scenes, she's a devil. She's a dictator. we all live in fear of Charlotte upsetting it. She'll just tear us limb from limb. So yeah, I agree. Go Carlisle. But an ex-Dale player, manager Paul Simpson at Carlisle. So it's all there. So we're all behind Carlisle. And I think that brings Charlotte in the chat. She's a hooligan. She is. She's a hooligan. She's a balaclava. She's like that. She's going up with paving slabs. I can't imagine Charlotte picking up a paving slab. But that brings us to the end of a fabulous evening together. It's been wonderful. I've been playing a lot of Football Manager recently, and this is the expression that you do when you want to celebrate with people. You outstretch your arms. So what a fabulous podcast we've had. Thank you everybody for joining in and taking part. It's been lovely. It's been really, really lovely. And this week, Sam and I, and possibly Charlotte, I don't know, because she'll tell us what she wants to do, because she is in charge. Possibly during this, we're going to be interviewing the Disney Channel and Fox's own Sean Winter from the Welcome to Wrexham documentary, and we're going to be learning all about Wrexham. We'll be asking all the questions about Wrexham, and if you've seen the documentary, you'll see Sean pounded shots with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, so we'll be asking him all about that as well. And did that evening really end sloppily, or did they just turn the cameras off and they went to bed and didn't want to associate themselves with the riffraff? We will be asking all the probing questions you can imagine, and but that's going to be then out on Thursday. And if people have enjoyed Lucas's rant earlier on, we will endeavour to make a TikTok of it.
It's a passionate monologue.
But if people want more Lucas, where can they find you, sir?
Twitch, Crab Dribble, and TikTok, and Twitter.
Anywhere else? You exhausting all the avenues?
OnlyFans too. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Getting that transfer kitty up.
This is GoFundMe for Vinicius Junior. And I mean, it's Sam. Everybody loves Sam. Where can they find you, you lovely, lovely man?
Up the FM Ducks pretty much everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, the website, thefmducks.com. Doing football shirts and football reviews, and there is a YouTube channel I'm doing bits on. Maybe I'll do some more stuff on it in the future, but up the FM Ducks, that's where you can find me. And
a website all about Sam. You can't get any better than that. And if for some deranged reason you want more of me in your life, FMFO_official everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, where I do nothing, Instagram, where I do nothing, YouTube, where you can see old stuff when I don't do anything anymore. I am streaming on Twitch at the moment with Rochdale. I am playing it with Rochdale at the moment. We are currently 4 points off the playoffs with 9 games to go. I got the semi-final of the Papa John's. I'm having a wonderful time over at Rochdale on Football Manager. You can join me for that.
You got Charlotte as your assistant manager.
I would do. I started playing players because she told me to play them, and they're doing really, really well. They're my best players. Who would have thought? And if anyone's interested, there's still 0-0 Newcastle Leicester. Newcastle have hit 18 shots. Leicester have had none. And if you want This is true. Absolutely.
That's going on
It's
the TV.
16% possession so far for Leicester. Super with a pass accuracy of 100 passes of only 44%.
That's ridiculous. They're getting destroyed.
Awesome there. And if you want to follow the podcast, please do hit follow, hit like, subscribe, whatever you're on. We're on Twitter at Absolute Ball Pod, TikTok Absolute Football Pod, and Instagram Absolute Football Podcast _ Please join us here, there, and everywhere. Thank you very much for being here. We'll see you next time. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.